Well, welcome to our Move the Needle YouTube and podcast series. We are back where it all started at Vero Pizza. My name is Matthew Blades.
Today I'm Steve Petz.
Today he is Steve Petz. You
And
never know
always.
with this guy. Yeah. We have such a cool show for you today. We got a double shot of Kim's coming on the podcast.
Love it.
And one Monica. And I'm telling you, if you love cookies, our first guest is somebody you're going to want to key into.
They look good and they taste good, which is a rarity, and we're going to hear about that too.
I've been very fortunate. The Gellman family has fueled us with cookies every holiday season, and so I'm looking forward to my batch again this year.
I'm looking. Maybe she bring us some samples. I'm hoping.
I kind of thought she might.
I think she might.
I wouldn't be surprised if she brings some Move the Needle design cookies for us.
Now you're really high
I think
expectations.
that could happen.
High expectations.
So anyways, you're going to know by the end of the show what Foster, Arizona is all about. We're going to sit down and do a deep dive with Tutor Doctor, one of the sponsors of our show. And like I said, Monica Gellman's going to step in first and talk to us about cookies. But I just wanted to say thanks to a couple of people. Bella Set Lingerie, they're down the street. And then, of course, they've got one location in Gilbert. One of our newest partners in this project, Duenas Eden and Cravata.
Yes.
The law team that helps out folks when it's time to get the big D, the divorce.
Local, very credible, loving firm.
Yeah, good group of people.
Yes.
So here's the thing. We have a couple of other people that I'd like you to pay attention to. And then when we come back, him, me, and Monica. See you in a second.
Let's do it.
Buying or selling a home is one of the most important decisions you're going to make, so you deserve someone who truly cares about your journey. I'm Amy Richardson with the Savvy Realty Group and HomeSmart. Living and raising my family in Ahwatukee for nearly 20 years, this community isn't just where I work, it's my home. Growing up in the Midwest, I learned early the importance of connections and relationships. These values shape everything I do. From our initial conversation to long after you've settled into your new home, I'm here to provide ongoing support and guidance. From staging to cutting-edge marketing strategies, we expertly showcase your home to sell swiftly for the highest possible price. So if you're ready to buy or sell, please reach out to me. And remember, important decisions require savvy solutions.
At Vero Chicago Pizza Ahwatukee, we focus on quality and a great pizza experience.
With over 30 years in the business, we've perfected our craft to bring you the best. Our pizzas are made with top quality ingredients, creating rich flavors that capture the essence of Chicago-style pizza. And our family recipes like the homemade meatballs and Italian beef sandwich add a special touch to our menu. Enjoying a meal at Vero is about more than just food. It's about making memories with friends and family in a welcoming space.
Join us at Vero Chicago Pizza Ahwatukee and taste the difference for yourself.
Well, welcome back. This is it, episode number 70. We're live from Vero Pizza, one of our favorite places on planet Earth.
Absolutely, best tasting places.
Can I tell you what just happened a
planet
second
Earth?
ago? I was sitting outside. I was waiting for our first guest to show up, and I looked up at the TV, and I'm not kidding you. It said today is National Cookie Day.
It is.
Is it?
I was like, are you kidding me
How
with the
could that
timing
be?
of this thing?
Oh,
I had no idea.
serendipity.
Serendipity. Her name is Monica Gellman. She owns and operates Lookie. It's a cookie.
Yes.
And I have been the beneficiary of many a sweet by the Monica Gellman crew. And it's,
But not I.
I know he's feeling a little left out. We got to fix that.
He queued you up for some bringing.
I'm gonna have to get you some.
Oh,
Gonna
we
have
thought
to
you were
get you
hiding some in
some.
your bag.
We were thinking about getting an exclusive Move the Needle cookie that we could give
Ooh,
to our guests as
That'd
a thank
be
you.
fabulous. Yeah,
Yes?
what a great idea.
Okay, all right.
Done.
There's a lot of great ideas up here. We'll just have to flush them out. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me.
It's so good to have you. Lana and I have known each other for a lot of years. Our kids grew up together. Her youngest is born on the same day as my youngest, so there's a lot of things there. What do you want to know about Monica? You guys haven't had a chance to meet each other.
No. Not much.
A little bit from afar. I've seen on the cover of magazines.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like
you
that.
were
I
on the
know-
cover of his magazine.
Yes,
Oh,
the family. I know
okay.
years back, so I know
Yes.
I know a little bit. Don't remember much, but I want to know like how this got started. I know, and especially I've heard directly from you and your website that your cookies are delicious and gorgeous. Okay,
Yes.
those are two things that don't go
Always
along
go
with cookies.
together.
So
Right.
I have experience of this. Because what I want to let me give a background.
All right, here we go.
I have a daughter who every cookie.
She has 2 daughters, so she wins.
So she may know this. So every beautiful Mickey Mouse cookie, flower cookie, Daddy, and I would buy it one bite. I'd pay
in the garbage.
No, to me, I would have to eat. I'd take
you
a
would
bite
have to eat
because I paid $10 for a cookie.
No wasting.
$15 for a cookie. I'm not going to
You're not
throw
gonna
it in the
waste
garbage.
it. Yeah, good
so
for you.
they are lousy, but Lookie, it's a cookie. I heard are delicious. What makes them delicious? That's my big question.
So I worked really hard on the recipe. My aunt actually has been decorating cookies. She's back in Indiana, and she went to art school, and hers are works of art, and they taste good too. But I knew I was never going to be able to compare to that talent that some people have. Some people just have that artistic talent. But I knew exactly that. The people get a cookie and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty, and it tastes terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. Or I told the story, my mom, we would go places and she would always pick the prettiest dessert, and it was terrible, and we'd be like, Mom, you should have just gone for the chocolate mousse. Doesn't look like much, but tastes great.
Tastes so good.
So I worked really hard on a recipe so that I could bring up and say, yeah, these are cute cookies and they look good, and no, I'm not going to have anything, hanging in the Louvre, but they taste great. They're soft. They're buttery.
That's
Sometimes
the thing.
cookies
It needs to
break
be
your
soft
teeth.
and buttery with
Yep.
the sugar cookies.
Yep.
Any secret ingredients you could share?
Yes. So it's usually the icing that makes it so hard. Royal icing. It's what allows you to do a lot of fun designs, but it hardens quite a bit, and so I put some corn syrup in there.
Oh.
And it's not really a trade secret. Most people put a little corn syrup in there.
Okay, so you're not breaking the internet here.
I am not.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. When did you start Lookie It's a Cookie? Has it been? Are we on 5 years now?
No, well, it'll be 5 years in July.
Okay.
So I started in the middle of the pandemic. I always say I did what everybody did when you know nothing about a business. In the middle of a pandemic, you start one,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I'd been baking all my life. Like I said, my mom baked, my aunt baked,
Yeah.
and I'd done a couple cookies for fun. And someone said, "Oh, you should sell those." And I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about that. But with all the time, there's a ton of information for free on the internet. There's actually a Facebook group with like 45,000 people in it that's all about marketing sugar cookies. And I got so many great tips.
Everybody's got a community. Don't
Yeah.
you love
Yes.
it? Everybody's got
It's
a community.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming up with Lookie It's a Cookie, like obviously it's great. It rhymes. It's got a lot of that stuff there. How did that show up for you?
It really did just pop in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no good story.
Yeah, right. Just Lookie It's a
As
Cookie.
as a marketing guy, I thought it was great.
Genius.
It attracted me. I thought it was amazing.
Thank
So-
you. And I do feel like it's helped. I've had some people reach out to
100%.
me. They said, I Googled and I found you. And I'm like, yeah, because everybody else's cookies are like Susie's Sweets and whatever. And I'm sure Susie's Sweets are amazing. My name just happened to catch their eye and they gave me a chance.
Yeah.
Names matter, and if they can remember your name, that even matters more. And it's a tough one to forget. So no, kudos on that.
So Monica's growing up here in Ahwatukee, and I was reading a magazine interview that you did a couple of years ago, and the question was, if you could take a friend around Ahwatukee, where would you bring them? And there's two things that you mentioned. You mentioned I would take them on a hike, Telegraph Pass, which is up the road from where we are,
Fair.
and you would take them for a pizza right here at
Wow.
Absolutely.
Another thing that couldn't be scripted.
Yeah.
No.
Amazing.
It's perfect. My daughter is off, 2 of them are off at college, and they just said, over break, can we get Vero's?
And you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
any day of the week.
Absolutely.
I love, you know what, I need to do a better job of coming on Wednesday because they have that 16-inch thin crust.
Yes. And they're
That's
running
like-
some great gift card specials right now. Yeah.
I know. Not that this is a promotion for Vero, but why not?
Hey, and
they are a
they're
sponsor.
a part, and they've been
Yeah.
really. This is where we did our inaugural show. I don't know if you know. This is
Oh,
so
perfect.
we love this.
We love
We
Alex
call
and
it
the
we
group.
call it home. So
I have a question about something that I saw online, which is you have cookie classes.
yes.
I do. They're kind of intermittent because
Yeah.
it's hard to find a place.
Oh, yeah, because you need a big industrial kitchen, don't you?
Not necessarily. I do all the prep at home, but I was doing it at a friend who kind of had an event space, and then she's not there anymore. But last month, actually, a corporate client reached out to me. They said, I work for a bank. My boss is coming into town. We want to show her a good time. Can you put on a cookie class? So I did find a place over at Ahwatukee Children's Theater, and they were able to give us some time, let me rent the room. And so,
This
yes,
is a
I do teach
brilliant
them.
marketing idea for you, is that you could bring your cookies to a business, and that could be part of their team building,
Yeah,
is making
absolutely.
cookies. I'm just putting that out there.
I love it.
She mentioned the Ahwatukee Children's Theater.
Which is what I read about. I was amazed. I heard you did an amazing Sally Field, in
Steel Magnolias.
Yes, I mean that's what the raving reviews on that.
Oh, thank you.
You brought down the house. It said if a casting director watched that performance and said, Monica, we want you to build your breakout movie around you, that emotional power. What kind of character would you build?
Gosh. That character was great because it was a mom of a young woman. It was something that I could so deeply relate to. Not giving a spoiler, a play that's years and years old, she loses her daughter. And I lost my mom.
Wait, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man. I just ruined
Well, that's so
I'm
old.
going to watch it tonight.
It's like 30 years old, but
Yeah.
you catch up on that. I think it was you were a kid when it was out.
Yeah, right.
I'll loan you my VHS
Oh,
copy.
Yes,
of it.
please. Because I have a player at home.
Yeah. But so I could there were a lot of emotions I could really relate to. So if I was creating a character, I think I would create another mom.
Okay.
They say, do what you know. I mean, I'm more of a musical person. This was the first straight play I had done since I was probably 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Musical
But
person.
what's so cool
yeah.
about you is like everybody in your family's into it.
This is true.
Right? Like her husband sings, her daughters are beautiful voices.
A musical family. huh?
Yes, my
Very much
husband's
so.
actually in A Christmas Carol at Ahwatukee Children's Theater.
Right now?
Yes.
Wasn't he last year too?
He didn't. This is his first year. He's playing the Ghost of Christmas Present. He's done a couple other things there, but this is the first time with Christmas Carol.
What's so great about that is you meet Jason, and he's a lawyer. You wouldn't think that he would be on
You'd
the
never
stage.
know.
But he gets up there, and he has this alter ego that
Yeah.
just rips right through him.
I've never my whole life been intrigued. I actually saw a calling for that, and I was interested.
How'd you do it? You're taking voice
should.
lessons.
Yeah, no, I could do it now. I could do it, and I've been on the stage dancing, so I don't.
Oh, you're
yeah.
perfect for that.
Yeah.
Sign you up.
Yeah. So I would think about it. I think it would be fun. I'm like, I've never been part of that. Before it's all over, maybe
you'd
give it
have
a shot.
so much fun. You'd
I
meet
think
a
so,
great
too.
group of
I was
people.
really envious. A shout out to one of my best high school friends, a rarity, a high school football star, and the lead in the play.
Oh,
very
it's like High School Musical,
Yes.
but with football.
With football
right?
talent, exactly. And so, but anyways, you're always envious because you got to see that he was having fun in that world, which we were like, see ya, buddy.
Right.
And he got to, it's a whole different crew, anyways.
It is.
I wanted
It's
to
fun.
ask you back to your classes that
Yes.
you run intermittently. You have something called Cookie After Dark, and it says adults only.
Oh, so that's not a class. Those are actually cookies that I sell that are a little definitely R-rated.
So you could sell like for bachelor parties or bachelorette
Yes.
parties.
Yes,
Those must be fun. Those must be fun making parties. Making the cookies.
I should have a class where I teach how to do
Yes,
that.
making
That's-
Everybody's drinking and making like little.
Absolutely.
the laughs make it. I mean, when they're done, it's funny, but probably making them has got to be funny.
Yes, I have a couple clients who
The
really love
bloopers?
that. I should offer to
Yeah.
teach her how to do that.
Yeah, I'd
I
like to
remember
take-
being
yeah.
like 12 years old, and my uncle had a birthday, and his wife bought him like a boob cake.
Oh yeah.
And it literally it was like
Really?
boobs on
How-
top, and I'm guessing
everybody
you
was
can-
loving it, right?
Oh my god, it was like it was the life of the party, and I can see that being so much
It's
fun.
funny. I saw that on your website. When I clicked, there was nothing there. So I'm like, I'm glad you asked
Yeah.
that.
Yes. If you look at my Instagram, do I have? Yeah, I have pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put a little cover on top of it. You have to swipe through, just
Yeah.
young eyes,
Parental
things like
discretion-
that.
parental discretion
Exactly.
advised, yeah.
Exactly.
That's so funny. I really
For
want to see the
cookies.
cookies. Yeah, Max, if we find some, we got to overlay them on top. Okay, we got to put them on. Your sugar cookies. You sell them 2 dozen to however many dozen
Yeah.
people are willing to buy, and then you also sell a cookie cake.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think you have my interest there. Talk to me about the cookie. Is it like simply like a Pizookie, or is it like a Pizookie on steroids?
It's, you know what? It's like those. Do you remember the place that they have in the mall, like the Great American Cookie
Yes.
Company? And it's like a giant chocolate chip cookie,
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
baked and decorated with frosting. That's all it is. I'm not a fan of cake, really, but I really like cookies. So I started making those, making them big, making them small. You could put ice cream on it, but...
So you have brought my family and other families samplings of your cookies that you make every single year. Are most of your recipes like passed down, or are they things you created yourself?
It's a combination.
Okay.
A lot of them are ones that I got from my family.
Yeah.
Some of them are just ones I got from the internet. I'll be honest, there's so much out there. But there are some ones, the more I bake, the more I've gotten confident about, what if I put that flavor with? Now, I don't even sell these, but I'll tell you about this one thing that I came up with at the Halloween. So, you've got the Rice Krispie treat. Everybody loves the Rice Krispie treat. But I thought to myself, what if you swap out those Rice Krispies for bugles? Those little triangle.
you've done this.
Yep.
I've eaten them.
You put
salty bugles.
Salty
Oh, my God.
bugles with the sweet, and then you throw some candy corn in there
Ooh.
that cuts that
And
salt.
they're amazing.
People love them. And it was
They
so easy. And I just thought,
are so good.
well, what things might go fun together? And that's something that I like about
The only,
baking.
the only thing I'm disappointed about this whole interview is that our producers didn't put in the contract for her to bring these cookies. You're talking about these. I'm like, give me a sample.
No, you
How,
want it-
how do we get these? I mean, how do
Yeah,
tell
what
us
is the best? How do
what-
people order? Through the
Yeah.
site?
Through the website is
Yeah.
best. Yeah, through the website. I have a Google form, and I promise in January, December, and May, my busiest months. January, I'm bringing you cookies.
Okay, well, we're
Yep.
holding you to it.
Hold me to it.
Matthew, I mean, when you watch the show, he queued you up for some special MTN cookies, so you better get your best batch going.
I know.
Well, I really do think it would be super cool
Yeah.
to like have what a
I do
unique
too.
gift to give somebody
Yeah.
when they show up on the show.
Yeah.
right?
So unique, too. You know?
What is the shelf life for a sugar cookie?
So I heat seal them, and so they're going to last. Gosh, I tell people probably 2 to 3 weeks on your countertop, and we say 3 or 4 months in your freezer. Longer than that, like
Oh,
definitely on the countertop. I don't know. I haven't really tried them, but in the freezer, I found cookies that have been there like for 9 months, and they taste fabulous.
So it's basically like a month-to-month order. Sounds like a month-to-month
yeah.
order.
Every month we would want to grab
Yeah.
some cookies and do that. Do you have a coupon code for anybody that wants to try you out?
I do. It's on my website, and of course, I can't remember it right now. But if you
MTN,
sign up for my
move the needle. You
I
get
thought it was sweet news.
yes.
that sounds right. Yes,
Or
It's a
sweet
new-
news.
It's a new feature. Yeah.
One
so
or the
if
other.
you if
Move
you
the
sign
needle.
up
You
for
better
my-
give them a discount now too. You're going to make me a liar.
go.
If they say it, what are you going to? Will you give them? How much do you give them?
It's a 10%
10%.
discount.
10%, okay.
10%. Yeah.
Okay. So will you throw it in if they mention move the needle? too?
Sure.
Okay.
She's already got
Absolutely.
sweet news programmed, so
Okay,
we
so-
don't want to make more work.
Sorry.
My website is very difficult for me to do so, but
Okay.
but yes, if
Sweet
they mention
news.
MTN, I will definitely
Okay, good.
honor that.
Yeah.
Are you ever
I'm thinking about
just
myself.
sick of making cookies? Like, are you ever just like, I don't want to be in the damn kitchen today?
You know, I'm very fortunate. I get a ton of orders from ASU moms. I'm a Sun Devil myself. My husband went to ASU. I've got 2 Sun Devils right now, and Alex is probably going there. And so there's a group of moms from ASU, and so I get a ton of graduation orders, and I'm so thankful for it because it takes me through the summer. Nobody buys cookies in the summer, so May is great. But by about May 20th, I don't want to make any more maroon icing. I don't want to make any more gold. I don't want to make any more diplomas.
Yeah.
I just want to do something different.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know what's cool is because she reminds me of the balloon lady that we have.
Yeah.
on,
Oh,
right?
Emily.
Emily,
Yes.
right? It's just such a
connection.
unique offering that adds so much value when they're there.
Right. Yeah.
Like cookies, just it's a nice touch. The balloons, they were a nice touch.
But especially cookies, both things, cookies that taste good and balloons that are extraordinary. I mean, she does an
Yeah.
extraordinary job.
Oh.
And both, by the way, both business models, and I've told Monica this, we spoke on the phone, I think it's up to them as far as they want to take it because the market's already told both of those, since we were talking about Emily, that they like your product. I always say when the market says they like your stuff, then it's up to you to decide what you want to do
Right.
with it. So I'm like, if you love cookies, the sky's the limit. You should. I mean, you've got a name, you've got a brand. I mean, take it all the way, or take it halfway, or do whatever you do. I think it's amazing.
Yeah. I want to ask you, as a cookie connoisseur, who out there, present company excluded, who out there has the best cookie?
Gosh, that's so hard. You know, I was just on a television show. They asked me the same thing.
There is no brand, no way. It's only it's homemade cookies. People.
Not a lot of. Most of the time, those decorated cookies nowadays are really kind of custom made. I mean, they sell them at like Target and things like that. If I were going to get a cookie and not my own, maybe Crumble, because Crumble has a soft cookie.
But I don't think there's. I mean, hear me out when I say this. What I meant to say was nothing against Crumble. They're delicious cookies, but those are. It's not like that cookie where it's like, I mean,
I
it's
don't
like,
know, Steve.
I mean, it's good.
I don't know about that.
What I'm saying is the homemade cookies. It's a shout out to the Monicas of the world because it's the homemade cookie. The homemade cookie. I
get what you're doing, but I'm saying
it takes the top. Though I guess for branded cookies, for what would you call it, commercial? Absolutely,
Yes.
Crumbles good.
I'll tell you,
a little heavy though.
It's too bad they don't have those
sure you
small
can only eat
places.
half.
Those small places used to have a
Mrs.
really
Fields.
great toffee cookie. Yeah,
Miss Field. Now those are
and
good.
those were really good, but I don't think maybe at Arizona Mills. I
they
don't
not
think they're
make
around here
anymore?
anymore. I don't think those places are.
Good old traditional chocolate chip.
Okay, so I'm going to link to everybody. I'm going to link to Monica in our show notes, okay? And birthday parties, I think definitely corporate functions.
Absolutely.
Graduations, as you mentioned.
Casting calls, anything.
There you go. There you go. And I
Frat
should
parties.
Yeah.
I should say, I should give a shout out. I have an edible printer, prints in food coloring. So any logo, any detail,
Wow.
any photo. I did my daughter's graduation pictures. I printed out her senior pictures. They look like Polaroids.
So we're
So-
definitely gonna do the MTN logo because we are gonna be able to bring them onto the show and we'll show the audience.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
you.
Thanks so much for
I know you
having
like
me.
I could literally throw a rock to your
Yes,
house from here.
exactly.
Lookie, it's a cookie.
Lookie, it's a cookie. Sweet News is the promo code. When you jump on the website, you can save 10% on any order that's over $70. Get 2 dozen, get 5 dozen, get 20 dozen, whatever you need to do. She loves baking, except
I do.
in the end of May.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Even then.
Even then.
Even then.
4th of July cookie she'll do. Yes.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have, as I mentioned earlier, a double shot of Kim. We have 2 Kims coming up after Monica. So we'll take a break and we'll see you in just a minute.
For over 2 decades, Culture Infinity has believed luxury begins with how you're treated. From the moment you walk in, you're welcomed by experts who know luxury and value relationships. And our white glove service meets you the moment you arrive. Simple, friendly, and effortless. We're more than a dealership. We're part of this community, committed to giving back, supporting families, and earning your trust. Infinity's award-winning lineup, designed for families, for drivers, for those who expect more. Coulter Infinity, a dealership that cares. Come experience the difference.
Hi, I'm Kim Selchan, owner of Tutor Doctor of Ahwatukee, Chandler, and Gilbert. We understand every student is unique, which is why we meet them where they feel most at ease, whether online, at home, or in a public space. Our academic coaching is designed to help even the brightest students overcome organizational challenges, sharpen study skills, and build confidence, empowering them to achieve their best. From kindergarten to adult, we believe every student can be successful. We also have expert SAT and ACT coaches to help teens with college admissions and scholarships. I'm excited to learn how we can partner with your family to help today's learners become tomorrow's successful adults.
Well, welcome back to segment number 2 of our Move the Needle YouTube and podcast series. I'm Matthew.
Steve.
And we've got our next guest. Is the double shot of Kim's, as I mentioned.
Yes.
Before we get to her, I just want to say thank you very much to Coulter Infinity, our brand new sponsor of the show. Thank you so much. Now we're going to have to start driving Infinities, aren't we?
Trading my car and my Lexus soon.
And the other person that we're going to say thank you to is Kim Selchan, who happens to be our guest right over here.
Tutor Doctor.
From the Tutor Doctor.
Been hear about her a lot.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Oh, man,
and
well,
thanks for always getting shout out to my business. I appreciate that as well.
Well, we are so grateful for your partnership. You know, I mean, if everybody does a little, nobody has to do a lot. And it's just great to have people like you that, you know, understand what we're trying to do here. And then you're like, you know what, let me support it too. So thank you.
Yeah.
Quite welcome.
Yeah.
And we hope that our audience supports local because that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
A local business that helps local kids and local families.
Yeah, well, you know,
Perfect
she's
segue.
a 20-plus res of the East Valley. You grew up here. Well, not you grew up here, but you spent about 20 years in Ahwatukee and Gilbert. You said you had 3 houses in Ahwatukee, which I think to live in Ahwatukee, you have to say that. Like, eventually, everybody
you move
has
around
3
a little
houses.
bit, yeah.
Well, because
You do. You have to taste
start
it all,
up, you
try
start
it all
up closer
out.
to the 10, and then you're like, I want to get deeper and away from the noise, and then you realize that adds 20 minutes to your drive, and so you find
the
someplace
middle.
in the middle.
That is my story. Yeah,
It's my story,
I moved
for
to
sure.
Tukey, and then my friends started settling in Gilbert, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so far away." I'm
Yeah.
like, "But everything is where it needs to be. Like, why do I need to leave Ahwatukee? It's all right here."
It is getting so busy here in Ahwatukee, and I know you're kind of residing in Tempe at the,
But 15 years
this
here as well.
202 business is non-stop, and it is
yeah.
bumper to bumper traffic in the mornings and the afternoons now, and it's so crazy because the 202 used to just be able to fly back and
It's
forth.
taken over for the 10. What they did is supposed to be a diversion,
I
and
know.
it's turned into the 10. It's
Kim, you came here to talk
Yes.
about traffic
Yeah.
patterns.
Yeah,
I
you
understand.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in
well,
traffic.
maybe
so-
some of your mathematicians could figure some out. Your future geniuses that you help out.
I probably have some tutors on my team.
Yeah. I bet
some
you do.
civil
Could figure
engineers
something
in the
out,
rising.
too.
Yeah,
Well,
possibly.
let's talk about it. Tutor Doctor of Chandler-Gilbert and Ahwatukee. On the website, it says to help today's youth become tomorrow's successful adults, one-to-one academic coaching and mentorship. Your background, though, is in business.
That's right.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, currently you're helping other people get businesses going and off the ground.
Yeah.
So tell me about your first business.
My very first business, it was house painting. And it was, transition between high school and college. And my boyfriend at the time started a house painting company, which rivaled the house painting company we met at. It was cool. It was cool to be from the ground up starting that, managing crews of men, bench pressing extension ladders and strapping a trailer to my what was it, a
Honda
station
CRV.
wagon?
I was like, please let it be a Honda CRV.
No, it was not a Honda CRV. That was the first. And then that pretty quickly progressed into real estate. So when I was in my 20s, I had as many properties as I was old.
Really?
So I did lots of rehabs, flips, lots of clever contract negotiation.
She's hustling right out of the gate.
I was a bit of a hustler.
Where does that energy come from? Because that is such an energy.
Yeah, it is. It was so invigorating to go to some sort of it was like a little networking event, let's just say, and just finding people, like finding a plumber, finding a real estate agent, finding a title agent. It was so invigorating, and that just fueled me. I didn't need to find my own energy. And plus I was working 12, 13 hours a day at my day job.
Right.
But youth will do that to you.
She loves business. It sounds like she's meant for business.
I do.
She
I love
loves
people.
Business and hot yoga. That's what it says on your LinkedIn page.
How did that go? Oh, you got that from my LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
I love it. It is a sickness.
Are you in it, for real?
I am in it. My little space on the mat, I am so in the zone. I have had people sitting right next to me, and I have known them, and I didn't know that they were there because I am in my place.
I say that same thing. It's crazy. Do you want to go at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning before you go?
Before I go to my breakfast date, I suppose I could probably do it. Maybe 5:30 class. I can do a 5:30 class.
Fit a hot yoga class. No,
yeah, let's do it.
I love it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Tutor Doctor.
Yeah.
And let's talk about how that came to be. I want to know about the napkin meeting that everybody usually has as they're, bouncing around ideas. Walk us through the conception of that.
So as you mentioned, I'm not an educator. I'm not a teacher. I'm a business person. And I'm a people person. So all of my career was in people leadership. That's really what I did.
Got it.
But the way I was able to get from a 20-something with no job experience, just like every 20-something, was through mentors. That's how I kind of climbed the ranks in the corporate world and was relocated multiple times. I would seek somebody out, like a Steve, and I would send him a message, and I would say, hey, Steve, hey, can I come over to talk to you? Even though he was 3 or 4 or 5 levels above me in the, in the totem pole of corporate America. And it made me so successful. And some of that fearlessness and that same energy that I had when I was starting businesses, when I was in my 20s, I just think everybody should have that. But it's it just takes one. When you find one mentor that listens to you, respects you, and they're so happy to give their time, that's what I want kids to have.
Oh, amen.
That's it. I want them to get A's. That's cool, but that's not the end goal. It's to be the lifelong learner and to feel confident and successful.
It is so cool. I have a buddy of mine that says every young man should have 3 men that aren't his father that are in his life. And I feel like that's one of the things, and this might be interesting to kind of kick around, but the youth today they just have different motivation and different things going on in their lives, and they're more connected to their phone than maybe the people around them. I feel like this is a group that could just benefit so much from having a mentor and.
Yeah, and the truth is, I am my demographic. So you talked like the paper napkin kind of thing. Who do I want to serve? Who needs a mentor? I'm my gosh, if I'm honest with myself, and I'm pretty honest, it's my own kids. I am a busy, single, working mom. Again, I am my demographic. I'm the same sort of person that I'm trying to serve through the business with Tutor Doctor. My kids need a mentor. I am a great mom. I really am. I work very hard to be a good listener, a good supporter, but I can't be everything to my kids. And I think that that's really important. We are busy parents now. We don't have the nuclear households like we used to have. I mean, some people, they do have that, and that's great. But we're also busy as parents, whether it's shuttling our other kids around to events. It's just not fair, I don't think, for parents to think that we have to be all things to our kids. So they deserve a mentor, and that could be, an academic coach, which is what I employ.
Good for you. That's such a great thing for people to hear. What specifically do you focus on at Tutor Doctor? Is it just math and STEM, or give me an idea for what the scale is?
Great question. I'm not being coy about this. It's really, if we have a tutor, then we can support it. And I try to keep a large, diverse roster of tutors because I don't know what that next call is going to be.
Right.
We do have a lot of highly skilled special educators because we have a large demand for, kids with pretty severe ADHD and autism. So we have to have very, very skilled tutors for those kids. But the general mix is kids in middle school and high school. that really need the executive functioning support. So it might be like, ring, ring, my son or daughter needs help with algebra 2. Okay. But really and by the way, they're actually not doing so well in physics, and they're not turning in their assignments in English. And I'm thinking, okay, so this isn't really a kid that necessarily needs help with just algebra 2. They don't know how to organize. They don't know how to take notes. They don't know how to study. There's a lot of reasons for that. I'm not here to get into all of them. I'll give you my 2 cents on a couple, but that's really what it is. It's executive functioning, which is where that mentor comes in. It's a coach to help them, like, let's block and tackle. Let's log in. Let's figure out what we need to accomplish.
And what's interesting, I don't know if you know this, Matthew, is that tutor doctors actually will meet their students regardless of age, wherever they're comfortable. So they actually will do the tutoring. They go to their homes.
Oh, that's great.
They go meet at the library,
right.
at the schools.
Meet at Starbucks or something like that.
At Vero's Pizza.
Yeah.
Vero's Pizza.
Wherever it's comfortable. And I think that's an important part. When Kim and I were talking, actually we were part of producing the commercial that our audience has been seeing here. That's what we wanted to really ring home the most, because when kids are comfortable, when they're in a comfortable setting, they're where they feel like they can absorb. I think it's gonna work. It's probably led to
safe,
success.
Not judged. Maybe they're going to school all day and they're feeling like, I'm just not getting it. I'm behind. I have too many questions. I don't even know where to start.
Or showing up in
Feel
another
safe.
place, another building that they're not familiar with, sitting in another classroom.
Sure.
Instead of anyways, I think
the
it's
safety's a big thing.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that
Yeah,
out.
I think that's a great.
Lots of people do
piece
a
of
combination, because
tutor
we
doctor,
also, again, we're busy. We've got other things going on as parents, so it's kind of a pain to swipe off the kitchen table, and because the tutor's coming over, so it's sometimes a little combination of both.
Well, and this has probably been overhyped and over-mentioned, but we'll continue to be a part of the over-mentioning it. But there's a lot of things that are happening in school that don't look the same as when we were growing up, right? The math is different. The science, the learning style just might be very different. And look, I'll say it. I don't think most parents are equipped. They don't have the skill set to teach their kids science, or teach their kids math, or teach their kids, X, Y, and Z. And let's be honest, the kids they don't want to listen to us. They do better with other people anyways. And so, when we were growing up, when the kids were having a moment, I would say to my wife, like, we need new energy in the room. It was like, I have to leave. You have to take in. Or
it's just not working. It's just not working.
And for learning, it's that way, isn't it? Like
it is absolutely that way.
That fight at the kitchen table, and it's like, why don't we remove that from the equation?
Yeah.
Remove that dynamic from the equation completely.
Yeah, because we all know as parents, when there is a homework battle, it really takes over the household and the energy. It bleeds over into dinner, and then the next morning, and then you get a little snippy with them because they didn't clean up their clothes. But really, it's because they didn't do their homework when you asked them to do it.
Yes.
Just remove yourself from that. We need to love and provide as parents. We don't have to be everything. We don't have to be the educators as well.
Yeah, golly, that's so good. And now I understand Tutor Doctor so much more.
Along those lines, I want to circle back. I had a question regarding, you talked about that executive function.
Sure.
I want to see, what's one insanely simple habit that families can start today that genuinely moves the needle for students? I mean, that they could do very easily.
One simple thing is to make a visual out of the biggest goal. So it's not the laundry list of, you need to study, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to clean your room, you need to do dinner. That's way too much. Just break it down really simple. What is the most important thing? You have a final that's coming due, and the last day to, let's say the test is on the 17th of December. You have to start studying by December 10th. Let's just put that on the calendar so the whole family sees it. Something super simple.
Okay.
It's visual, and it's a concrete date. That's the single most important thing.
Accountability,
absolutely, that everybody can support.
So smart, because you're right. As parents, we're like, do this, do this, do this.
and you have to be like, hey, what do you got going on this
Right.
week? What exams this week? Well, because it's like, oh, you have this week, and everybody's on the same page.
Right.
Yeah, super smart,
I like
super
that.
smart. What's a typical Tutor Doctor session like? Is it do I meet the tutor before they meet my kid? Is it a phone call? How does it typically work? I'm guessing it's mostly moms that are calling you and saying, my kid needs help.
Yeah, that's true. It's always, however it's initiated, somebody goes to the website, they're on Facebook, they're asking for, I need a whatever tutor, fill in the blank, and they're, are often recommended, which is grateful. I'm very proud of the reviews and the service we've provided. So somehow or another, they get in touch with our office. We schedule time to meet. It's because that initial conversation is so important. It's not like, let's say I'm talking to you and I just pick up my phone and I start having a conversation. That's not really fair to the parent.
Yeah.
We kind of need to carve out time. So it's going to take about 15, 20 minutes. why are we here? What led up to this? What are you looking for? Some people just want kind of as needed homework help. Some people need SAT prep. Some people they've homeschooled their parent or their kids, so they need help choosing a curriculum. It is very, very broad.
That's good to know. It's a great thing to say, because there's a lot of homeschooling.
There is a lot. Yeah, and it's all very different. There's no one size.
And you can provide a curriculum.
Oh, well, we don't provide the curriculum. We help a family select the curriculum.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really just a very, very deep discussion. What is the problem and what are we trying to solve? And then we have to be honest with ourselves. If we don't have a tutor on our roster that helps the family, we will tell them that.
Yeah.
We can go look someplace else. We'll also try to find somebody, or it's going to take us 2 to 3 weeks. It just depends what the need
What's
is.
the age where people should start considering a tutor?
That's a trick question. That's not fair. It's not an age. It's when you feel in your gut as the parent that your kid's not doing as well as they could. When you see incongruence, right, where they're pretty good at this in the house, and then you're getting notes from the teacher saying that they're struggling with something, and you think, well, that's interesting because they do so well over here. Why am I hearing this about a different subject? Just intervene. There's nothing wrong with getting support. The thing about gaps in education, they don't age well and they don't fix quickly. So it's definitely better to get the help before the confidence starts waning, and then once the confidence starts waning, then the motivation falls off. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a balance. But to follow up on Matthews, I want to kind of challenge you a little bit on that, because I know in this day and age, also people are fanatical about getting, whether it's sports or schooling, private lessons for their kids. I mean, before they're out of diapers. I mean, is there a point where it is a little bit, can it be over? Is there? I mean, Matthew's point. Is it like a 5-year-old? I mean, do 5-year-olds?
Okay.
Is it like, you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Because parents will be like, hey, if it's going to help my 5-year-old get to Harvard, sign them up.
First off, if they're 5 and you're thinking about Harvard, you're already doing this wrong. Slow your roll.
Well, how many people don't need to be calling me. Let's be honest.
Okay, how many people are doing that though? That's what the society we live in. Come on.
So maybe the better question is, what's too young?
That's
yes,
what it is. I was gonna flip that around for you, Steve.
Yeah.
I was gonna help you out.
Thank you.
Under 4, I don't want to be the provider. We can help you help your own child do that within the household, because we can't have a tutor show up for 15 minutes to help them with something because their attention span is still like that of a gnat, right?
Exactly.
I don't want you to pay for our service. There are things that we can provide you to do that in your home, but definitely not less than 4. I'm not somebody who should be
second grade though, right?
contracting that
Second
early.
grade, I was doing math. First, second grade, right? I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but people,
That's 6, 7.
preschool is valuable.
Preschool,
It's helpful,
Okay.
especially kids have come from different schools. They speak different languages in
Okay.
the household. It's helpful, but not under 4. That's not something you need a private tutor for.
As we wind down with Kim, I did notice, according to a post you just made on LinkedIn, that you're hiring. And that you are looking for people who want a flexible and rewarding part-time job. If you're a master of math, an intervention or special education teacher, or a reading champ, we've got the students that need you. So
Yes.
what's it like to work with Tutor Doctor or for?
Well, I can say from the surveys that I do of my team, because it is really important. I'm a people leader. It's really important that people want to work for my business and feel value in what they're doing. This isn't the type of job you don't clock in and clock out.
Right.
It is flexible, and it has to be rewarding, or that defeats why you're picking up a part-time job. This is a part-time job for a lot of people. So I will support you, I will give you resources, and I handle all the hard stuff that that makes private tutoring not fun for people, which is people not paying, having to check in with teachers, having to check in with parents. We do all of that. So we take all the burden off so that you can just fly. You can create lessons the way you want to, the way it resonates
cool.
best with the kid. So you'll feel supported. That's something I feel proud to say. And I know that because I've asked my team.
All right. We'll link to Tutor Doctor in our show notes, and then you all can tap on that. Do you have any magical...
Oh, we're not going to let her go with this because
Steve's usually got a pretty magical
All
question
right,
here.
Steve, what do you have?
You've seen kids walk in defeated and walk out confident. If you could bottle just one thing, one Kim Selchan superpower that you coach that every student in America could instantly have, what would it be?
It's a phrase. Can I do that?
You could do whatever you want.
You can't do that yet. Let's work on it together.
Okay.
That's it. I believe in you. What happens now, it's not forever. It's just a temporary thing.
Okay.
So important.
Let's work on it together.
Yet. You just don't have the skill set yet. Because, look, I have a
Be
story
patient,
in my
yeah.
head from when I was a child that I'm not good at math, and I'm in my 50s, and that story is still there for me.
We talk about it too. I do too. Me and Matthew have it's kind of a lot of bizarre similarities.
Coincidences,
So it's
yeah.
coincidence. I had my story is I got the chicken pox in second grade when they were all learning multiplication and division, and when I came back, they were doing things. I've said this before on the podcast, and I was like, it was like Chinese, and I like from that day on I was bad in math. To this day,
Yeah.
I'd say I'm bad in math.
It's interesting.
That
how
was
the
my
story
seed.
follows you.
So,
but if
it
I
was.
had somebody who said like, "Hey,
Try to
you're
correct
just
it.
bad at math for a moment," like that's
Yeah.
not going to be your forever.
Call me
Would have
up.
been a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Back then
maker.
it was a little different, and they were it was a little more tough love. I like the new approach to schooling is much better. Back then it was just a little bit more. They kind of kick you to the curb, kind of
Sure.
like, and so
no one's gonna smack your hands with a stick. It's not. It's not gonna happen.
Oh, a lot worse than that. Trust me. I wish it was my hand.
Well, look, thank you.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you
for coming on. Thanks for being a part of what we do here. We'll encourage everybody because look, there's a lot of parents who watch us and they were like, I need that today. And Kim's available and the team's available. So
All East Valley, Gilbert, you see this on all of our shows. Gilbert, Chandler, Ahwatukee.
Yep.
Give them a call. They can
all right.
help you out. Love that.
She's not the only Kim on the show this week.
Ooh.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to sit down with Kim Vehon, and you guys are going to learn about Foster, Arizona. We'll see you in a minute.
Divorce is never easy. It's emotional, uncertain, and deeply personal. That's why at Dueñas Eden Crevata, we start by listening.
Unlike large firms, we specifically limit our case size, so your case never gets lost. We guide you through divorce, custody, and property division with clarity and care. Some lawyers equate aggression with success. We know better. We lead with compassion, integrity, and unwavering advocacy, because protecting families requires more than a courtroom fight.
At Dueñas Eden Crevata, we're more than attorneys. We're your partners for tomorrow.
What makes Bella Set lingerie so unique? For starters, check out the vast selection and size range. Cups from A to K in styles like balcony, plunge, wireless, strapless, and more, including mastectomy and maternity bras. With superior customer service and free professional fittings, it's the go-to bra shop in the East Valley. Locally owned, with 2 locations in Ahwatukee and Gilbert. Check out our glowing reviews on Google and Yelp. Visit bellasetlingerie.com to learn more.
Well, welcome back. It's segment number 3 of our Move the Needle YouTube and podcast series. Really quick, before we get into our third and final guest, so many big thank yous to pass out. Amy Richardson from Savvy Realty Group.
Yes.
And, of course, Alex from right here at Vero Pizza, where it all started.
Yeah, not only a host, a partner. Obviously, see his delicious commercials
Yes.
before all of our shows. So, great partners, too. But here we go with
Kim Vehon.
2.
Yes.
Kim 2.
So we've had 2 Kims and we've had 2 redheads.
Oh, I love it. I love
Monica has some fiery red hair.
Yeah.
We have our own Ginger and Max who shoots the
That is
project.
awesome.
The
for
red
us.
episode.
You're the CEO and the founder of Foster Arizona and Foster Arizona Housing Project.
Yes.
It's a nonprofit that I have been involved with personally for a while. I didn't know this about you, but in 2018, you were honored with the Congressional Coalition of Adoption Angels, and Beth McDonald, who I know well because
Yeah.
of my radio days, awarded you Woman of the Year.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a crazy year for me. I was a little bit
Wow.
overwhelmed by all of it. But
I can
yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
But that's a big
Amazing.
deal. Beth's
Yeah.
like Woman of the Year thing. That's a serious deal.
Yeah, I will say it was a shocker and could not have been more grateful. It was one of those seasons where I was working at Foster Arizona for free. And so even the fact that she would support the community in that way and she gave a cash prize that was really significant for my family. So it was a pretty amazing year to be a
What
part
was
of.
the cash prize back then?
It was
Was
like
$5
75.
grand?
No, I think it was like 7,500.
Yeah,
Oh,
amazing.
Which was right. I know. And we had
Nice
taken in more
vacation.
kids. I know.
Vacation. She's got so many
I
kids.
have 7 kids.
We could take them all on vacation. That would even
Yeah.
cover that.
7
I-
kids.
I-
7 kids.
Yeah, that
7
I read
kids.
about this though. I know you guys have
Yeah, ask away,
background. I
man.
do not. I read from 1 child to 7 to this statewide organization. When did you realize this was your calling? I mean, talks about that.
You know, it's really crazy. I think sometimes we fall into our calling. And that was kind of the space. I remember I was sitting in foster care classes. I knew I always wanted to adopt. And when we met with our agency at the time, they said, have you ever considered fostering? And when they started explaining what it was and how we could support families, I had 2 young kids at the time. I mean, when we started fostering, I had a 3-year-old and a 20-month-old. And I was like, I think we could do this. We could support family reunification. We could do that whole thing. And then he came into my home. Our first child came into my home, and we started having a new, clear understanding of what foster care looked like and what the families looked like. You know, there's a lot of labels that are put on the families that are involved in foster care. And we started seeing that they are normal people that just are going through some really challenging times and making choices based on their own trauma and their own situations. And it really changed my whole perspective in life. And I think that's kind of led to where I am today.
What are the biggest contributors to somebody getting into the foster system?
Yeah. There's a lot of different things. We look at it, and there is a cyclical pattern of repeats, like kids that come out of the foster care system, they then have kids that go into the foster care system. So there's that generational trauma that continues on to the other generations. We're also seeing a lot of substance use, but again, substance use, we always say, is just a surface, right? It's just a symptom of a deeper problem that's going on. Right. And so you have these different things that are coming into play. Poverty can come into play, that just all comes together to culminate where a child can no longer be safe inside of their family units.
So generationally, money has something to do with it. Substance abuse has something to do with it. Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Generational stuff is really, I mean, what we hear in society is very tough to break. You hear a lot of people who get, whether government assistance, and the same type of thing happens. It's tough to break those strings. It's like it takes really one strong person a lot of times in that family to do it. But it's really, it's not an easy pull, right?
We're talking about it right now with a group. We're there like on Sunday nights, and we're working them through this protocol that we have, and I'm really trying to ingrain in them this idea that they are the transitional character, that they are the ones sent here to end the dysfunction and make life better for themselves and everybody that comes after them with their same last name.
Yeah.
Like they can be the one.
Yes.
If they dig in,
and
they can be the one.
But some of it's really challenging, because when you're looking at trauma is tricky. I loved that Jazz, who's one of our mentors, she shared her story at our gala, and I loved that phrase she said, is trauma is tricky. It's not a straight line to healing. And so often we think that, oh, well, you have this resource and this resource, it should be easy. And it's not that simple. And a lot of times, like, we also look at it and they're like, oh, they get state insurance and things like that. Well, typically the state resources tend to be a lower level of expertise, a lower level of experience. And so we're seeing that that's also an issue, is they are not necessarily receiving a higher level of care, which you have a higher level of trauma, but you're receiving a lower level of care. And it becomes even more challenging for them to be able to be resourced and supported in the way they need to get to the other side.
Okay, so you've got a lot going on at Foster Arizona. You have the Fostering Arizona podcast, which you and your husband Brian do. But you guys are also making educational videos. You have the Foster Cooperative. You have the Connection Initiative, transitional housing.
Yeah.
What was ingredient one in your salad?
Oh, it's really funny. I worked in a megachurch, and I told stories, and I helped make videos, and I looked at it when we got to a point where we couldn't have more kids come into our home, which is funny because then after this we took 2 more kids in. But when we got to that space where we said we couldn't, right? We couldn't continue to just have more and more kids come in our home, because we had 7 kids that were 6 and under at our best point.
There's just so many you could have, right? I mean,
right. Just physically there's so much we can do. I started saying we can tell stories. And that's what we started doing. We started telling stories of kids who are adoptable and real stories. And then the next thing we did was the Kid Initiative, because we started seeing that there's a disconnection between the kids and the community. And then we were told about transition out of foster care and that there's this huge need. And we're like, we could do something there. And so we've just continued to say, where's the need? How can we fill a gap?
This is a God calling for you, isn't it?
I definitely believe so.
Yeah. I mean, because this is not a job for everybody.
It is one of the hardest things that I've ever done in my life, and also the most rewarding. To be able to step in, I consider it a huge privilege to step into somebody's challenging spaces with them, to be able to sit in a space of saying, I don't need to fix things for you. I'm going to choose to be present. I'm going to choose to be a resource and a support, but I also believe that you have the ability to fix things for yourself.
Yeah, I've got a question along those lines. What leadership lesson did motherhood teach you that no boardroom or nonprofit playbook ever could?
Say it.
Control.
I was thinking that or patience.
It really was. I mean, yes, patience as well.
Yeah, right.
But probably the hardest thing for me is being able to have a certain level of control. Also,
so
I
good.
learned brought me safety, right? And then starting not just my own kids, but the young adults and the kids that we've supported through Foster Arizona. The biggest lesson has been it is not my responsibility to see positive outcomes for another human being. My kids included. I have to release them and say, I am not responsible for your successes or your failures, your setbacks. We always like to call them setbacks instead of failures, but I'm not responsible for any of that. I get to just play a role of being present in your life and being a support.
What a great outlook.
Yeah, and I think that my own kids, my kids that I've been a part of with Foster Arizona, they have really not just taught me that through just hearing it, but actually experiencing it, that need to have to let go.
Oh, so fascinating. Do you find when you look at foster, because you've met so many foster kids now along the way, is there a common through line? Like when they get into good homes, are they generally happy, or are they walking into this thing waiting for the other shoe to drop?
There's a lot of books that talk about that have been written by foster families and people involved in the foster care system that talk about it's not about love is not enough. There's so many other factors that come into play to healing, and the very nature of foster care is wrapped around loss. They have to lose their family of origin to be adopted. And so there's this beauty and this broken all together. And I think that is one of the challenges that come into foster care that people don't always understand. And it's the resilience inside. It's inside that child, inside that youth, their resilience, their ability to persevere that has to be poured in and built for them to have a positive outcome. And so it's not like there's no formula. There's not a specific space that you can just lay out of what causes success and what doesn't.
Okay.
And some have more resilience. More kids have more resilience than others. Different levels, right?
Yeah, we see it on Sunday nights, right? We see some that have the capacity to grow, and we see others that have the walls up, and it's just harder to knock them down.
And the beautiful thing about it is I always tell our team is so often in society, we're trying to look for the bloom. We're looking for that space of breakthrough, and it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes it's just being willing to say we're planting seeds, and when their walls come down, those seeds will bloom whether we're there or not. And so that's that beautiful space of understanding our role in their lives. And so even when we look at it as a nonprofit, society so often says, well, what are your success? What are your measurables? What are the things? And we look at it and we say, what can we control? Well, we can control how we love them, what resources we provide them, and how they are connected to community. So those are the things that we're really focusing on, what we pour into them, and then what they do with them is up to themselves.
I have some logistical questions, like who can foster kids? I noticed in your website things like married, single, divorced, or widowed, doesn't matter. You had to be 21, at least 18 years of age to adopt, legal U.S. or Arizona resident. Like, what else?
Yeah, and so that 18 to adopt, a lot of people don't understand this. That's really actually for siblings. And so they're not going to have like a regular person that's not connected at 18 adopt because that'd be really challenging. Right. Yeah. But that really is geared towards being able to have siblings who have other siblings still in foster care, be able to take them out of the system. But really, a lot of the community can adopt. It doesn't necessarily mean that adoption and foster care is for you. So I would say being able to look at it, if you're single, like you mentioned, married, if you live in an apartment, if you live in a house, if you rent, if you own, none of those things matter. They're looking to say, can you cover your bills? Because fostering, adopting is not about getting income. Can you support yourself? And then are you at a space to have room in your home, room in your life to support another?
Does it cost to foster? Is there like...
It does not.
It does not cost.
It does not. A lot of people also think about adoption side. It doesn't cost to adopt. There is upfront fee to pay for your home study because a lot of times people get involved and the agencies have to take on doing the home study and then they decide it's not for them. But on the back end, if you do adopt, they actually refund that money to you. And so adoption doesn't cost, fostering doesn't cost. There is a stipend, about $600 that they pay to help support the cost of the child in your home that you're caring for. And again, that's why it's really important that as they're going through your home study, as they're figuring out if this is a good fit for you, they're looking looking for your financial stability as well, to make sure that you're not taking in a child under financial
hardship, because you're just going to make it worse.
Right. Or you won't end up using those funds to support the child, and instead it'll go into supporting you.
You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right. Hit her with something hard.
All right. So, okay.
It's been too easy so far.
Kim, if the future you, 20 years from now, could walk back into your life today.
So she'll be 40 years old.
40.
Oh, that's very polite, very kind.
42. Give her 42, be honest.
42.
I love it.
She'll be 42 in 20
today,
years.
And tell you just one sentence about the kids you've helped, what do you hope she says?
Man, I hope that I'm able to look back and say that I loved them well.
That's what I was thinking.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only thing that we really have to give. And when we give out a space of love, then I think that we give out a space of genuine concern and care and support. And I mean, even today, that's what I'm hoping that our organization is known for, is that we love well.
Mm-hmm.
We just had the Foster Arizona Gala. It was
Yeah.
just a few weeks ago, and I was lucky enough to be there and host the whole thing. And you
Wow.
were talking about Jazz, who I met her beforehand. I met her and her husband, and
Yeah.
she is just remarkable. I mean, you talk about a story of hardship, and somebody asked her, like, are you getting up to talk? And she said, oh, no, I had to record this one. There's
Yeah.
no way I could have got up there. But one of the coolest things that happened was there was 3 young people
Yeah.
who all got up to talk and kind of give their version of their story there. And there's a lot of success in those stories. Would you share with our audience some of the highlights, some of the wins that people experience when they're with you?
Yeah, and even with their stories, we're really intentional. We started with one that's getting ready to celebrate a year, one that already is in an extension and on their 2nd year with us, and then one that's left our program. And there's so many things that I'm so proud of these young adults for. We had one that was doing visitations. Again, we talk about that cycle. Her child was brought into foster care. And so she, while she was in our program, was working on getting her child back from state custody. And in October, she
Got her kid
did.
back.
Which was an incredible thing. She's starting school in
Standing
plumbing.
ovation that night. Everybody was happy for her.
I mean, when you see those things, you talk about breaking generational trauma. That's what it looks like. It looks like that confidence that I can do better, that confidence of I am enough. And so often we see that the young adults struggle with believing that they have any value of their own. And so I love that their stories, when they stood up, all of them were proud of themselves.
Yes. Oh, you could see it.
It was an amazing moment. And again, that has nothing to do with what we can force them to have in their life. It's a choice they have to say, I'm worthy. I have something of value that I bring to the world and to my own life. And so again, we watched her get her child back. We have 2 of them that are starting school. One is a nurse, one is a plumber. Another one is working on what they want to do in their schooling. But there's consistency in jobs. And that's one of those things. A lot of times people are like, well, there's jobs out there. Why aren't they working? And you don't understand always how trauma and how self-value impacts your ability to keep a job, let alone get one.
For sure. Yeah,
Not like
that's
turning
such
a
good
light
point.
switch on and off. It's just not that easy.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What would you, for people out there who don't understand or don't have their head around foster care as a rule, what's something you've learned along the way that you were like, oh, I didn't know that? And it would be really helpful for other people to know that.
So I'm going to share one of my biases that I started foster care with, and that is that the parents are the problem.
Parents are the problem.
Right. And as I've gone through this journey, again, now we're helping kids, young adults, families. We're helping this whole spectrum of space. And I've started realizing that the kids, that the community around us is so excited to help become the parents that we deem the villains of the future. And I think that was a big light bulb moment for me, is stating we need to love the parents in the same way that we choose to love the kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense if everything's going to trickle down.
Right.
We need them happy at the top.
I mean, it's been interesting, the stats of young adults in the prison system, 70% have experienced foster care of our prison system. And I have stated to our team, I know people in prison. I met them in our housing program. And when you start, I know young moms who got pregnant by the age of 19. 70% of girls are pregnant by the age of 19 that have experienced foster care. 1 in 4 are homeless. I meet those homeless young adults every day. When you see them not as stats, but as human beings that have faces and a story, there's not enough words to explain how it changes your life.
Yeah. Oh man, I just love
Beautiful.
it. I mean, look, what Kim and Brian and the entire team are doing over there is so magical. I mean, I think the first time I met you, I was like, I want to be involved in some way, shape, or form. I was like, you need to bring me in. I got to I don't know what it is, but I want to give something to these kids. Because they deserve it. They and I work at the Durango Detention Center, and I remember one of the first times I was in Foster, Arizona, talking, and I mentioned that I worked at Durango, and a kid was like, "Oh yeah, I was there."
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You get some of that, but I believe the same thing to be true about foster kids as I do some of these kids that are incarcerated. They just had some really bad messaging.
Yeah.
And they haven't had enough good voices in their life.
They're kids. Let's just call it as they're just kids. They're forming, and most of the stuff is, most, if not all the stuff is not their fault. They're put in bad situations.
Is there a magic wand for foster care? Is there a magic wand? Is there a big enough check we could write to just solve the Rubik's Cube?
I think sometimes the answer, like I was asked about the executive order, and we did a podcast on the executive order that Trump just signed. And there's a lot of resources sometimes that come out money-wise, right? And the challenge comes down to is it's not always about the money. And we've got to start digging into the root of why all of these issues are occurring.
What is that in your opinion?
So much of it is broken spaces that haven't been healed in their families. So much of it is a disconnect from community. I mean, the majority of the applicants who apply for our housing program, when we say, are you connected to community? Their answer is no.
No. Well, she's doing amazing work, and I encourage everybody to look up Foster, Arizona. And
Beautiful
we'll link to them
story,
in the show notes.
though. You're doing amazing work, but I loved hearing your story. It was really touching, and so
she's good.
Yeah,
she's good people.
Amazing.
This one over here.
Yeah.
Well, look, thank you again for coming.
Thank you guys so much for allowing me to come join you.
So good, so good. Thanks to Kim. Thanks to the other Kim Selchan from Tutor Doctor. Thanks to Monica Gellman from Lookie. It's a Cookie. It was a really good segment. You missed that. We got to get some Lookie. You know what? I'm going to work with Monica and get Lookie. It's a Cookie, and I'm going to bring them in one of the Sunday nights on there. Can I bring cookies?
Oh, I love it. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, for sure. You can bring cookies.
They will own those cookies. All right. We'll do that. And a special thanks again to Amy Richardson from the Savvy Realty Group, Vero Pizza for hosting us today, Coulter Infinity, Tutor Doctor, Duenas Eden and Cravata, and of course Bella Set Lingerie.
Yes, absolutely. Great show. Again, loved it. Amazing guests, great messages, and everybody doing something
a little different. Something a little different.
To really amazing work out in the community. So great show. So we will we'll see you soon then.
Yeah,
next week,
for
right?
episode 71 next week. Have a great week.